Major flooding hits western Washington. Rivers spilling over their banks, forcing evacuations. Firefighters pulling people out of their homes. We're also tracking dozens of rescues involving drivers in high water. Dramatic video shows two drivers being pulled out of a swift running water by a rescue helicopter near Falls City. Rivers now hitting historic levels in several communities. We're closely monitoring the rivers and what is ahead for the next 24 hours. Say good morning to you. It's now 11 o'clock. I'm Kelly Koopmans. Governor Bob Ferguson has declared a state of emergency due to the flooding. He's expected to hold a news conference in about 1 hour. The volume of posts on social media about flooding, just astonishing. People sharing photos and videos of this historic flood event. Our crews are constantly sending updates from the field, and we are watching all of the new alerts, river gauge information, and more. We want to see your video and pictures, too. You can send them in now by going to KOMOnews.com in the Chime In section. We have team coverage this morning with crews covering the flooding from the North Sound to the South Sound. KOMO's Steve McCarran is in Pierce County this morning. Natalie Fahmy is in King County, but we begin in Skagit County, where flooding has forced people to evacuate their homes. Let's go right to KOMO's Tyra Majors, joining us live in Mount Vernon with the latest there. Tyra?
Yeah, Kelly, we're all bracing for that press conference that's underway in just about an hour. This is really the talk of the town this morning. Lots of people walking over to the historic downtown area of Mount Vernon to take a look at this flood wall, this seawall that officials have placed here in preparation. It's made of aluminum. It's about 1,600 feet long, 7 foot tall. And they say that water is not going to rush through here. That's the whole purpose of this wall. It's to prevent. So I want to get into this video. I want to show you this recent drone video that we just captured. Now that it's daylight, you can see how the water levels are rising. Below, you're looking at that seawall that has been placed for preparation. So far, the water is not yet hitting the wall, but NOAA says brace for change. The Skagit River will hit major flood stage early today and stay there through Friday, possibly topping 42 feet, well above the old record. That's why the state issued a level 3 go now order for anyone in the 100-year floodplain area. We spoke with Mount Vernon Public Works and residents who live here about how they're preparing for the conditions. Take a listen.
But it's the duration of the crest, which could last almost 24 hours, that we're concerned about.
Well, it protects the business down here quite a bit, because people have business here, they have a lot to lose. They did, back before. So, when they built this wall, it was the greatest thing that they've done.
The warnings from NOAA means the flooding could be worse than anything that anyone here has seen in their lifetimes. Businesses have been stacking sandbags, bracing for that possible flooding. Once again, here in the downtown core, it's quiet in terms of shopping-wise and restaurants. There's a lot of businesses around here, and they're all closed. They're following those strict orders, and that's what officials want people to do. They want you to hunker down or go if you're in that evacuation zone. You can check SkagitCounty.net. They have a map there. And on that map, you'll be able to see your area where you live and whether or not you need to evacuate. But they also say if you do need to evacuate and you need help, certainly call 911 for that help. Once again, we'll keep you updated what happens throughout the morning and, of course, the rising river levels. Live here from Mount Vernon, Tyra Majors, KOMO News.
Tyra, thank you. Moving now to North Bend in King County, where several neighborhoods and streets are flooded this morning. KOMO's Natalie Fahmy has been going neighborhood to neighborhood in North Bend and joins us live now. Natalie, a real mess there.
Kelly, good morning. That's right. We have seen several spots of floods here. Road closed sign just up in front of me, a flooded parking lot in front of me as well. I'll step out of the way. You can see this residential neighborhood here still in North Bend with water flooded so high that we've actually been seeing people paddleboard on it. Now, the neighborhood here runs right along South Fork Snoqualmie River and is really feeling the impact of the river rising and the downpour we've gotten the past few days. This is not the only street flooded this morning. Several around me are flooded, plus the parking lot for the Safeway and Strip Mall right in front of me here in North Bend. Several people I chatted with on and off camera tell me they were shocked to wake up to all of this in the morning. I asked one nearly 30-year resident if he's ever seen it so bad.
Not my recollection, no, nothing like this. The rivers are up high. It's up high. I knew it was bad. There's signs up, so I didn't go past the signs.
Again, you can see just how much water has flooded this street here. We are on Southeast 123rd Street, but this is not the only street in this area that's been flooded like this. Again, a road closed sign right up there, a flooded parking lot right in front of me, and then we see this right back here. Earlier this morning, I was on another street that was closed and flooding with lots of rushing water. This is really the first time this morning the rain has stopped, so hopefully some of those flood drains can catch up in the meantime. Live in North Bend, I'm Natalie Fahmy, KOMO News.
Natalie, thank you. Astonishing totals of rain across western Washington. The National Weather Service says several areas got as much as 6 to 7 inches in a 24-hour period. In Whatcom County, Bellingham shattered its daily record on Wednesday. The heavy downpours in the Olympics and Cascades are flowing downhill and into communities. 16 local rivers are expected to reach major flood stage soon. KOMO's Theron Zahn monitoring it all in the Weather Center for us. And Theron, when can we expect the rain itself to ease up?
Oh, well, as we speak, we're actually getting a break from the rain in some parts of western Washington. You can see breaking up around Tacoma, Seattle. Still some leftover showers out there, but certainly nothing compared to what we've had of late. Drier conditions across Bremerton and over toward Allen. And then as you look up toward the Cascades, start to see just a few flashes of blue. That's an indication that the snow level is starting to come down, but that intense rain we've had throughout the morning along the Cascade foothills is starting to break up. Record river flooding, though, expected, especially on the Skagit River. Take a look at these numbers. Compare the old record, 42.2 feet at Concrete, to what's forecast of 48 feet. Yeah, very high. Mount Vernon, the old record of 37.4 is expected to be met with 42.3 today. That's why they're concerned that they could see some of those levees break, and they're going to be watching that very closely over the next 24 hours as the rivers rise today, expected to crest sometime today and then go down slowly over the next several days. The Snohomish River expected to meet that record of 33.5 feet at some point today. Skagit getting close to the record, as you can see, but certainly flooding that's going to impact a whole lot of people. It's that flooding potential in the north sound around Mount Vernon that has a flash flood watch up, almost something you never hear of here in western Washington, mainly associated with thunderstorms maybe in the desert southwest. But they're issuing it because they're concerned that if that levee were to break, there would be a flash flood of all kinds of water coming out of the Skagit River and going wherever it wants. So that's where they're issuing the alert there. But more widespread flooding is just about everywhere. The list of rivers is extensive where we expect major flooding today. But even if the list near the river near your home is not on this list, we expect to find some flooding there. Cedar River, certainly one of the top rivers, along with Snoqualmie, the Stillaguamish, the Skagit River, of course, and the Snohomish River, especially in the city of Snohomish. We have homes that are being inundated as we speak. So coming up in the extended KOMO forecast, we're going to let you know what comes next, because once those flood waters rise, they tend to rise more quickly than they go down. So we'll talk about that.
Okay, now to Pierce County, where Sheriff Keith Swank says the flooding there is the worst he's seen in Pierce County. His Swiftwater rescue team has responded to several emergencies just this morning, including one near South Prairie. That is where KOMO's Steve McCarran is live this morning. He's at one of the many flooded roads in Pierce County. Steve?
And Kelly, this is one of those areas that Theron was just talking about where the rain has let up just a little bit, and it's raining lightly at the moment. I'll tell you, based on the people that we've talked with over the past hour and a half or so, they either agree with Sheriff Keith Swank or they don't about this being some of the worst flooding that they have seen. This is South Prairie Creek Road East right here that's going right through, and I just checked the NOAA gauges right before we came on the air this morning, and those seem to predict that we're starting to see a receding of this creek and the water levels right here. But as we pan off to the right, I don't want that to underscore just the sheer power and strength of the creek water that we're seeing right now. Just before we came on the air, we saw a huge, what appeared to be some huge garbage can just rolling down the creek here. We've seen lots of debris, lots of tree limbs and tree trunks that have gone down this water. It is just moving so fast and so powerful. I did talk to a guy who said this is a big difference from what he saw about 24 hours ago.
Yesterday, yeah, got to keep on the edge just to go down so I could go do a little walk along the creek myself.
And what did it look like 24 hours ago?
It was a little bit lower, a little bit lower.
Yeah, big difference. So Central Pierce Fire and Rescue just posted on X moments ago that they are participating in a joint water rescue operation with the Pierce County Sheriff's Office right now. Together, they have several teams staffed to respond to flooding-related rescues across the jurisdiction. And get this, those teams have already responded to 25 rescues so far. And no doubt, based off of some of the conditions that we're seeing right now, there could be more to come in the hours ahead as more and more of these rivers either reach their crest or start to recede. So they do ask you to respect those road closure signs. There's one a little bit further up the road here, but you can see that water over the roadway sign, just warning people not to cross over this. It is simply too dangerous. And those sheriff's deputies want to make sure that their lives are not at risk and also yours as well. Live this morning near South Prairie, Steve Buchanan, KOMO News.
Yeah, turn around. Don't go through that road closure sign. At the live desk now, we do have several road closures to tell you about due to mudslides or flooding right now. I want to start with this. WASH.North sharing this picture. SR 544 closed in both directions in Everson due to water over the road. This is south of the Nooksack River. I want to show you one more picture, again sent out by WASH.North. Take a look at all this water over the road here. SR 18 also still closed in both directions from SR 18 and the I-90 interchange to Issaquah-Hobart Road. That closure due to a mudslide. Trooper Rick Johnson posting this video to X of those cleanup efforts there. Now to eastbound I-90 just west of North Bend, where eastbound is still shut down because of a mudslide. The closure stretches from Winery Road and milepost 27 to milepost 32 in North Bend. Take a look at these pictures. These are pictures of that slide from State Patrol and East Side Fire and Rescue. You can even see in one of those pictures some vehicles caught up in that slide. Everyone was able to get out of their vehicles with no serious injuries. We also have other closures to tell you about. Stevens Pass, US 2 is closed from milepost 57 at Scenic to milepost 85 at Coles Corner, west of Leavenworth, due to rocks, trees, mud over the roadway in multiple locations there. There's no detour available, no estimated time for reopening. And Blewett Pass, US 97, it's also closed in both directions due to weather conditions. Southbound is closed at milepost 177, 6 miles south of US 2. Northbound closed at milepost 150. The junction with US 970, that's 17 miles north of Ellensburg.